Hello my dear friends, welcome back. Welcome to your channel Cooking Astrology. First of all, I would like to thank all of you for subscribing my channel and liking my videos. Thanks a lot. So today in this video, let's try to understand the importance of third house in Vedic astrology. And I'm going to help you to decode some of the major concepts of Vedic astrology in this particular video. I'm going to cover all the important aspects which are connected with the third house and how you can connect all that important aspects in your own astrological birth chart. If you want to see anything with regards to your initiating ability, capacity of a person to take certain risk in his or her life, any sort of intelligence and the utilization of intelligence is also seen through third house. Some portion of your subconscious mind is also connected with the third house, and that is the reason this is also the house of dreams actually. DREAMS. I'm not talking about daydreaming. I'm talking about the actual dreams which you see during the night time or at the time of sleeping. If you see some dreams. So the significance of dreams are also connected with this third house. We'll cover that part. Also, this is a Upachya house. Now, Upachya means the house which tend to grow much better with the passage of time. Now, the planets in the third house also have the capacity to deliver good results or over the maturity as soon as you grow older. So, planets that are actually sitting in the third house have the capacity to give you a positive or the wonderful results. Will also help you to understand how this third house will help you in the entrepreneurship journey. If you are beginner in the field of entrepreneurship, if you are taking right now certain concrete actions towards your future, so how third house is going to play a very important role, because this is the house which have the capacity to show the initiation ability, the capacity of a person to take the first step or the first decision towards something, that is also seen through the third house. Also, I'm going to discuss in more detail with regards to your efforts actually. Now, most of the time individuals, they are actually putting 100% efforts and they are only receiving up to 50 to 60% of results in their life. Why so? That is also seen through the third house. Most importantly, I'm also going to discuss with regards to the opposition of the planets directly in the ninth house, and we'll discuss the house to house connectivity of that third house. I request you and humbly request you to please watch this video till end so that you can understand each and every part in more detail. Let me come to the first part, and that is the initiation capacity. Now, third house is originally the house which represents the willpower of a person, the capacity of a person to take certain concrete decisions and actions in your life is actually seen through the third house. Now, if the planets like Ketu or some retrograde energies, or there are certain other difficult planets which are posited in your third house, this will shows known clarity of pathway, and that is the reason most of the individuals, they will not be able to take concrete actions in their life. So first of all, it's very important for you to have planets in the third house must need to be in a very dignified kind of a position. Only then your efforts or the amount of energy that you are investing at some place have the capacity to yield the positive result back into your life. Otherwise, sometime your results are going to be not inclined with the results that you are receiving in your life. So it's very, very important for you to first of all understand the behavior of the planets in the third house and what these planets are expecting or what these planets are particularly demanding if they are sitting in the third house. As we already know, this is the Upachya house which tend to grow much better with the passage of time. For example, Sun is sitting up there. Now, in the initial stages of your life, Sun have the capacity to give lot of struggle, lot of challenges, lot of hardships into your life. But as soon as you grow older, because this is a Upachya house, Sun have the capacity to deliver the positive side, that is status, authority, power. So all these things, they will come towards you over the passage of time. Now, here I'm also not discussing the dignity of planets in the third house. I totally understand zodiac sign placement is going to play a very important role in order to make concrete and precise predictions in Vedic astrology. But over the passage of time, specifically in the Upachya houses, that is this 3rd house, 6th house, 10th house and the 11th house. Specifically in these 4 houses, the planets tend to absorb the energy of the zodiac sign more rapidly or very easily. And specifically look into the maturity age of the planet. Every planet in Vedic astrology have certain maturity ages that are predefined. Like Jupiter mature at the age of 16, Sun mature at 21, Moon matures at 24, Venus 25, Mars 28, Mercury 32, Saturn 36, Rahu 42 and Ketu 48. Now these are the 9 planets in Vedic astrology. The planets which are actually posited in your 3rd house, as soon as they hit their maturity age, it means they no longer is going to behave like the zodiac sign energy. They tend to adapt themselves according to the 3rd house energy that have the capacity to give you the positive and the wonderful results. Also, I'm going to discuss with regards to other planets as we carry forward this video. Initially, I told you one portion of your subconscious mind is connected with 3rd house, and that is where the significance of dreams are also connected. Now, there are hardly any videos over the dreams or the significance of dreams in Vedic astrology. But I belong to the core family of astrologers, and I'm having certain books in my library that are actually connected with the dreams, significance of dreams. And sometimes you see different things in your dreams, and these particular things, objects, person, entities have the capacity to create the reflection of something. Like suppose you see snakes most of the time, small babies, even the young adult, and they see snakes in their dreams actually. So what is the significance? Sometimes people see water, lot of water in the dreams. So what is the significance of water? Sometimes they see some brutal death and these situations are happening. Even sometimes many different weird kind of a dreams they will see towards maybe death of someone they have seen in their dreams actually, but the person is still alive. So what this 3rd house is actually going to tell you, because this is the subconscious mind of a person. Any sort of connectivity of your 3rd house with the 12th house and 8th house. Once again I repeat, any sort of connectivity of your 3rd house with the 12th house and the 8th house, it shows the manifestation of dreams or the dreams which you are actually seeing during the night time and specifically early morning during 4 a.m. around that time. If you see any dreams, that dream have the capacity to alter its impact into the positive side. I'm only talking about dreams that are coming in the Brahm Muhurat. Brahm Muhurat simply mean if sunrise at 5 a.m. early in the morning, so 1 hour prior to that, that is around 4 a.m. So if in that Brahm Muhurat, if you see certain dreams in your life, that dreams have the capacity to create the realities in front of you. Maybe not right now, but over the passage of time, some supreme energy which is present above you is like giving you certain hints in your life. This is giving you certain hints actually. And if you will be able to connect these hints in your life, you have the capacity to alter your life for the betterment. And that is where, as I told you, 3rd house connectivity with the 12th house or either the 8th house. These 2 houses have the capacity to create alteration of dreams in your life. If someone want to see whether I have seen this dream, so what is the actual meaning of that dream? Although there is a different books which are available in the market, you can purchase any good books and you can learn about this subject in more detail. In the more scientific manner, you can learn about that part. I'm not going to go into the much scientific side of that part in this video. Maybe I will make one separate video, but try to understand one important thing here. If 3rd house Lord is forming, or even the 12th house Lord forming or the 8th house Lord forming some sort of connectivity with your 3rd house, this have the capacity to see what is going to happen in the future. You have the capacity to actually look into the realities or the things that are going to happen in the future. You have that capacity present inside you. Now many might going to consider I'm having no such combinations in my chart, but still sometime I have seen these vivid dreams and they come into reality. I totally agreed with you. There might going to be certain other combinations, but specifically the conscious and the subconscious mind, when they combine together, and specifically the 8th house, it may be 8th house lord sitting in the 12th house and then aspecting the 3rd house. 8th house lord going in 3rd in the 8th, 8th into the 12th, or any such combination if it is forming, it shows you are a special person, or you have the capacity to actually look into the darker side of the life and then have the capacity to alter the dreams into your own reality. So there is a very strong significance of dreams which are also connected with your 3rd house. Apart from this thing, as I told you, this is a Upachya house which tend to grow much better with the passage of time. Okay. Now the planets which are actually sitting in the 3rd house, first of all, the malefic planets like Surya, planet Sun. Although Sun is not actually malefic, we cannot say Sun is a malefic. Sun is a Sattvic planet because this is Surya Narayan. So Sun is not malefic actually, but this is a Krur Graha. Similarly, planet Mars, planet Saturn, even Rahu and even Ketu. If these planets are particularly posited in your 3rd house, it means with the passage of time, the struggle and hardship in your life, this is also going to get increased up to very large extent. Now many people say, I have no planet posited in the 3rd house, it means there is no struggles in my life. Yes, as compared to the individuals that are having malefics in the 3rd house, you are having very less struggles in your life. But this is not a good thing. It's very important for you to have actually at least one planet in the 3rd house of your chart. It doesn't matter whether it's a malefic or it's benefic. If not in the 3rd house, then look into the 6th house. If not into the 6th house, look into the 10th or the 11th house. These 4 Upachya sthanas, 3rd house, 6th house, 10th house and 11th house, planets must need to be posited in equal proportion in these 4 houses. It may be 2 planets are in this 3rd or 10th. Otherwise, growth is near to impossible if no planets are in the Upachya houses. Although these houses have the capacity to bring hardship towards you, this will give you unknown challenges, things which you will never think in your mind. So how you are going to solve that difficult problem in your life? These houses have the capacity to bring challenges into your life. But at the same time, because of these 4 houses, you have the capacity to grow into your life. And specifically the 3rd house, because this is the house of that initiation. Initiation simply means if you are taking any concrete action towards something in your life. If you want to make suppose decision of leaving a job right now and I'm going to pursue the entrepreneurship in my life. So whether you have that gut inside you or not, that gut factor is also seen through the 3rd house. And that is where the valor inside a person, the capacity of a person to fight with someone, to fight with the adversities and the difficult situations is totally depending over their 3rd house. More the malefics in the 3rd house, for example, there are 2 malefics, 3 malefics. It means over the passage of time, your efforts are actually going to be more and more and more and more. Your chart is demanding a hell lot of efforts from your side. That is your prarabdha actually. You have no capacity to alter the planets actually that are posited in that particular area. But in order for you to look into the balanced chart, if the equal amount of planets are also posited in the 11th house, now this have the capacity to give equal amount of results into your life. Whereas if only the planets are posited in the 3rd house and rest of your 11th house is empty, it becomes very difficult for you to reap out the gains into your life then. I made one separate video over how 3rd and 11th house play a very important role in the early and the late success of someone, and how the planet behavior in the 3rd and the 11th have the capacity to determine your future. And that is where it's very important for you to check the 11th house along with the 3rd house in order to understand the proper thing. Whereas if, for example, benefics are posited up there, for example, Venus is up there. Now Venus is your wife, that is your spouse. that is your marriage and relationship. It means as soon as you are getting married, third house is a upachya sthan. If in the initial stages your relationship is not very cordial or very good with your life partner, over the passage of time, you have the capacity to improve your relationship aspect up to very large extent. Because I told you planets in the third house tend to improve with the passage of time. Similarly, for example, planets like Mercury, planets like Moon, if they are present particularly up there. So the significance of these particular planets have the capacity to improve much better with the passage of time. Mercury is a planet of your intelligence. Maybe initially you are not that much intelligent. In your school days, you will not be able to comprehend the information. Even in your college days, you will not be able to understand the complexities. But as soon as you grow older, the planets in the third house, they also have the capacity to tend to grow. So that have the capacity to expand your boundaries. So then you have the capacity to understand the difficult and the comprehension part at the same time. Even one very important thing, third house also is the house which represents your siblings and cousins in general. Now, when I do family consultation, most of the time there are many legal disputes which are coming from their own family. And sometimes family is also going to become your biggest enemy. There is no need for you to look for enemies outside. Because if you look from the Bhavat Bhavam of the second house, third house is going 2 places away. Any sort of gains from the family is directly reflected in your third house. And any sort of gains of the third house, that is your siblings, is reflected in your fourth house. Now this is that house to house connectivity, which I'm talking about initially in my video. So first of all, in order for you to see the concrete results delivered by third house planet sitting in the third house or even the third house lord, you need to first of all pay attention towards the dignity of the planet sitting in the second house and even in the fourth house. That have the capacity to show you the exact reality and the exact picture what is happening up there. Because most of the time, if planets are actually getting debilitated in the third house, Mars is debilitated, Jupiter is debilitated, or maybe any planet, okay, Venus is debilitated, Mercury is debilitated. If a single debilitated planet is posited in your third house, it means in the initial stages of your life, the planet in the third house have the capacity to give you everything. When I'm saying everything, I'm talking about from the materialistic perspective. This is going to give you money, everything which you will be able to utilize and then sustain in your life. But debilitated planets' behavior in the third house is not very good over the passage of time. Because what is happening up there, I told you this is a Upachya house and this house tend to grow much better with the passage of time. Now, if any debilitated planet is coming up there, this is acting as a suppression factor. Initially, for example, you create wealth up to 10 million USD or maybe 100 crore rupees, okay. Suppose you have created or generated wealth in the initial stages of your life. As soon as you grow older, the same wealth factor or the same money factor is somewhat going to act as a suppression factor in your life. And that is where if your third house lord or the planet sitting in the third house, if they are not very well dignified, I'm not only talking about debilitated planets here, if they are even posited in the inimical zodiac sign, I humbly request you to focus upon living a minimalistic lifestyle. When I say minimalistic lifestyle, avoid creating much assets in your life. Unnecessary things, please stop buying them. If you will be able to satisfy with one single watch, stick with it. There is no need for you to go into multiplicity. If you are satisfied with one property, one home, then don't rush towards purchasing multiple properties. If you are satisfied with maybe few clothes, then remain satisfied. If you are satisfied with one car, you can satisfy it. But as soon as the hunger, because this is a very hungry house actually, okay. Third house is the actual hunger. I'm talking about the hunger of materialism. Upachya houses, they are full of hunger actually. These houses are not full with spirituality. These are the actual houses that have the capacity to create the hunger actually. Because initially what is happening in your life, desire is happening. Now, if the desire is coming in your mind, okay, what is the next step you are going to do? You are going to do something, take certain actions to achieve that desire. And that is why third house is also becoming the very problematic house in that particular area. Because 11th house is going to shed the desires, more and more desires, more desires. I want this thing, I want this thing, I want that thing. But all the pressure of your desires, that is all the pressure which is coming from the 11th house, is getting fully bared over the third house. And that is where if you study the house to house connectivity, if there are no planets in the 11th house and the only planets are in the third house, it means you are struggling most of the time, but results are not coming. On the other hand, if the scenario is changing, for example, suppose in your case there are a lot of planets in the 11th house, 3, 4, maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 planets, they are posited in your 11th house. It may be a combination of malefic or benefic planets. And third house is empty. Now what is happening? Without much efforts, you are going to receive a lot of things into your life. And in that case also you are not going to value. Because you have easy accessibility over your desires. You are easily going to gain these things into your life. Whereas the balance of the planets sitting in the third house and 11th house is very important in order for you to enjoy your life. And that is where the Bhavat Bhavam of the third house is falling into the fourth house. That is the house of your happiness, satisfaction, even the rejoice part also. So it's very, very important for you to focus upon sustaining with a minimalistic lifestyle. Don't all the time focus over the expansion part. Because irrespective, if for example Jupiter is in the third house of someone, some native, I will tell you by the time you reach the age of 40 or 45, you tend to give up. Why so? Because Jupiter is that expansion giving planet. So this is going to expand the horizon of a person. I want to become a big man, big man, big man. But on the other hand, if there are no planets in the 11th house, this is not creating any sort of balance into your life. And that is why most of the individuals, they tend to become a lot of debt ridden actually. Debt or mortgage which you are maybe acquiring from bank loan or these kind of things. Although 6th house in Vedic astrology is the house of mortgage or acquiring loan and debt in your life. But if you want to see whether, okay, if I have acquired loan, mortgage and debt in my life, whether you have the capacity to give that money away or whether you have the capacity to complete that mortgage tenure or not, that is also depending over the planet sitting in the third house. Because this is the house, as I told you, which have the capacity to grow much better with the passage of time. Similarly, the 6th house, that is your debt. That is also have the capacity to grow. That is why even if you acquire a small mortgage, so there is going to be some interest up there. You need to give that interest. That is growing, keep on growing actually, okay? So that is where if you are going to be focused more towards the minimalistic lifestyle with some difficult planets in the third house, that is going to make your life much easier. Also, the next important point of third house is connected with the current 21st century. You can see the YouTubers, you see the journalism sector, you see the individuals that are working in the video editing, thumbnail editing, even that are creating content creators are also seen through third house. Any sort of mass media, journalism, camera. Right now I'm shooting this video in front of a camera, so that camera editing, they are also seen through the third house. Now if you want to decide your career with one go, I have already made a lot of videos over the career, but if you want to actually decide a correct career pathway as per your chart, then third house is also very important. This house will also help you to understand, because if for example out of all the 12 houses in Vedic astrology, your third house is very prominently in the chart. By mean to say prominency, its lord is forming a very good Raj Yoga, or some major conjunctions are getting impacted in the third house, or maybe third house lord going in the 9th house within conjunction of 11th house, 10th house lord at the same time. So any sort of Raj Yoga, if it is created by your third house lord with any other thing, it means this single house has the capacity to dictate the career of a native. Although for career, all the other important things are also going to play a very important role, but the individuals that are actually in the field of journalism, mass media, communication, even in the YouTube industry, they are going to have a very prominent third house in their horoscope. Without the prominency of third house, it becomes very, very difficult for you to sustain a successful career into that area. Now, third house is also the house of the intelligence of a person. Now, I'm not talking about your buddhimata. Buddhimata is different. That is seen through fifth house. That is the wisdom and knowledge. And I'm also not talking about the first house intelligence. That is the supreme intelligence. I'm talking about the third house intelligence. That is your analytical capacity. This is your logical, or that is your reasoning mind. Your capacity to comprehend something. If, for example, right now you are watching this video and out there are total, suppose maybe 1,000 people watching this video. So in back of their mind, every individual is comprehending this information is a totally different way. So why they are I'm actually delivering the same information to 1,000 people, and why they are comprehending the information into different way, why that kind of a thing is happening, that is also totally dependent over their third houses. Whether you have the capacity to take some positive side of this information or some negative side of this information, or your capacity to gather a lot of data, lot of information, then create some logical understanding based upon that information, is also seen through the third house. And that is where in the entrepreneurship side, if you are an entrepreneur, or if you are into a startup industry, any sort of startup, maybe you are thinking of opening a restaurant business, some herbal Ayurvedic business, you want to become maybe holistic healer, or any other businesses which you are thinking of in your mind right now, and you are still doing a 9-to-5 kind of a job actually. Now, if the third house particularly, its lord, I'm talking about third house lord here, if that third house lord is going quadrant places away or the trine places away. Quadrant mean 4, 7, 10 and 4, 7 and 10, and trine mean 5 and 9 places away from its original placement. This shows your path is going to be a bit easier. Then if you want to make certain decisions, this is going to become very easy for you to make some concrete decisions in your life. Whereas on the other hand, if the third house lord is going 6, 8 places away, this is going to create a lot of difficulties in front of you to make some concrete decisions in your life. But this is the house which is going to give you first initiation or first step towards achieving your goals, your ambitions, and even your desires. And that is why whosoever is going to have a prominent third house, they work as a self-employed personalities. They don't like to work under someone else, because third house is the house of the self efforts of a person. So they know I have the capacity to create or put some self efforts up there, and at the same time I have the capacity to receive certain amount of results into my life as well. Many a times individual with difficulty in receiving the results of their efforts, like they are putting 100% efforts at something, but they are only receiving up to 50 to 60% of results. And this is happening with, I believe, 90% of the population. Their efforts are always going to be 100% all the time. They are putting their energy, their hardcore energy, but they are only receiving up to 50 to 60% of results in their life. Now, why that part is happening, that is also depending over the third house. Most of the time, if third house is acting as the obstruction giving house in front of you, then it creates the difficulties in receiving the results. Now, from the remedy side, now how you can receive the result of your efforts, here you need to first of all focus upon channelizing or activating certain planets in your chart. I've already made one separate playlist over the planetary activation techniques. That is only for my actually special members. So if you are not a member of my channel, you can please feel free to join, and then please watch that videos over the planetary activation techniques. By activating the planets which are connected with your third house, you have the capacity to receive the 100% results into your life. They are 10 to 15 minutes video. Just watch these videos. They are going to be very, very helpful in your case. Even this is the house which represents the traveling aspect. Short distance travel I'm talking about. Maybe I'm walking from this to this part or here to here. This is a short distance travel. Even maybe I'm going from here to school actually, to maybe in the market nearby. So any sort of short distance travel is seen through third house. I'm not talking about that much short actually. You can consider it as a 50 to 100 kilometer radius. 50 kilometer to 100 kilometer radius. Okay. Any travel, your day-to-day travel, you are traveling office, you are going to maybe school or college. So your day-to-day travel is seen through the third house actually. If you are a salesperson going here, there multiple times, that is also seen through the third house. So even if you want to see the kind of movement that is particularly involved in my life, you see many people, there is no involvement of movement in their life. They are totally fixated. It becomes very difficult from them to move actually. So why that movement related problems are coming? That is from the third house. Originally, if you look into the Kalpursh Kundli, the sign of Gemini is actually controlling the third house. Now Gemini is the air element. Air is the representation of the expressions of the person. Air represents movement. So air is continuously moving. And that is where the kind of movement or the kind of travel that you are going to make or take in your life is also seen through the third house. Third house is also the representation of your expressions actually. Your hand gestures, capacity of a person to help to understand, or how good you are in comprehending other people's expressions is also depending over the third house. And that is why there are many comedians actually seen through that third house. The people who are having very good sense of humor, they are also seen through the third house. The importance of third house in the 21st century is becoming very high because it gains control over the camera actually. Mobile phone applications which are stored up there. So all the applications, whatever technology is a different thing, but applications in your phone is actually seen through the third house. Even most of the time, 99% of the time, working as a freelancer, or if you are freelancing, then these career options are also seen through the third house, or the planets actually sitting in the third house. They have the capacity to create some freelancing kind of activity. Even let me come to the next important point, and that is the timings of death actually. Okay, see, first of all, 8th house, I'm going to not go much deeper into the exact part here. I don't want to spread that much hate content, okay? But 8th house in Vedic astrology, those who know astrology up to spiritual level, they understand the depth, okay? So if you don't want to watch this video, don't watch it, okay? If you still want to watch it, do watch it. So 8th house in Vedic astrology, first of all, that is the house of transformations. Sudden experiences in your life is also seen through 8th house. And 8th house is also the, I'm not saying death of a person is predicted through 8th house, but death of something is seen through 8th house. If something is dying, it may be the plants, they are dying. Relationship, maybe after 2 years of a good relationship with someone, that relationship is dying. Anything which is leaving you apart, or maybe have you seen the leaves actually? Suppose there is one plant and leaves up there. So leaves are falling down, okay? So that falling down of the leaves, because in the nature also you can see that part is happening when the leaves are falling. So the new leaves are coming in the trees, okay? And this happen every year. This is a continuous cycle, okay? Now from 8th to 8th is actually the third house. And this is that kind of a house which shows the near about circumstances of your death. Individuals that are going to be present during that time frame in front of you. Even if you want to see what kind of a death I'm going to have, whether this is a peaceful, painful, or maybe whatever you want to see or predict with regards to that area, this is the single house, which is actually going to give you all the overviews with regards to that kind of scenarios. Similarly, like last time I made video over the 5th house and I explained the importance of 9th house. So the higher house of the 9th house is actually 5th house, Bhavat Bhavam if you use the concept. Similarly, 8th to 8th is the 3rd house. So the higher house of the 3rd house, higher house of the 8th house is actually the 3rd house. So this is more malefic house. 8th house is a Dushtana Sthan, okay? 6, 8 and 12th house. These are Dusthanas. Dusthana or Dushtana houses. Planets in these houses are not considered good. It's believed like these planets are powerless. They are losing their full energy, full potential by going into these houses. Although that is not true up to very large extent. There are positive side also which is connected with the planet sitting in the 6th, 8th and 12th house. But 8th to 8th is actually the 3rd house, and that is the most malefic house of your entire chart. Most malefic. Like if for example, because this is the house of struggles and hardships, keep this thing in your mind. This is the core siddhant or the core concept of the 3rd house, that is struggle and hardship. Now if the 3rd house lord going in the 7th house of your marriage, now what is happening? Struggle, hardship is coming in your marriage. Similarly, you can study 3rd house lord going anywhere in the chart. 3rd house lord even going in the 4th house. Although you are going to gain something from 3rd going into 4th, but 4th house is the house of mother. So either you are struggling because of the mother or mother is struggling because of you. This is the karma connectivity. Now few things in Vedic astrology are predestined and few things are based over the free will of a native. And where you have no capacity to change your parents, you have no capacity to change your siblings, you have no capacity to change certain relationships. Because these are the predestined things. 3rd house lord going anywhere in the chart is also going to create that sort of a karmic connection or karmic backlogs in that particular area. And that is why even if the 3rd house lord going in any of the quadrants, 3rd house lord going in the 1st house, it means struggle, hardships and challenging coming towards you. 3rd house lord going in the 10th house, career is going to become bit struggling in front of you. Similarly, anywhere 3rd house lord is going, it shows I'm bringing the struggle into that area of your life. Or in that particular area, you need to really work hard. That is the core Mool Siddhant or the core significance of the 3rd house lord. Wherever I'm going, you need to put efforts towards that area. Only then you are going to receive the results from that particular area. 3rd house is not like a quadrant, or this is not like a trine houses actually, where you are enjoying the fruits based over the other people labor. Even if you are a businessman, for example, and there are 500 to 700 employees working below you, and although you are earning money or earning profit based over the hard work of the other people, and I truly admit you have also put a lot of hard work in setting up your organization, but still you are earning some portion of money from the efforts of the 3rd house or from the efforts of other people. That is also becoming a storage of karma, and that stored karma in your chart is then getting reflected into your own personal life. Even if the maids that are coming in your home for the cleaning purposes, the security guard which you are having, maybe the drivers which you have hired in your life. So these lower class people, they are actually seen through the Saturnian energy. The reason why I'm discussing that part, because you need to have a great hold over this part of Vedic astrology as well. Now suppose someone is working hard for you. It may be your wife is cooking food for you. It may be your parents are spending money over you. Or it may be your kaya, that is your physical body. So there are certain Pitri Rinas. Pitri Rin mean ancestral debt I'm talking about here. Ancestral debt in Vedic astrology is also seen through the 3rd house. any sort of ancestral debt which is coming directly into your life, debt of father, any kind of karmic debt coming because of the father is actually seen through that particular house. Now, whether you have the capacity to create or actually like nullify the impact of that karmic debt in your life, or whether that is going to be carry forward, that part is going to be totally depending over your 9th house or other divisional charts also. But this is the house of that karmic debt which is coming because of other people into your life who are working for you specifically. Now, although in the previous example, as I told you, suppose you are a businessman, you are having your own big business, and there are 500 to 700 employees working below you. So they are working below you to help you to sustain your organization. Although they are also earning certain chunk of share of their efforts from that organization, from that business. Okay, I'm not denying, like, because no one is going to work for salary actually. Oh my goodness, what I've said, or everyone is working for the salary. There are very few people that work for respect and reputation. So they are also getting that equal share of money by working under the employer. But you are also creating the debt inside that person. Similarly, like knowledge, for example, YouTube is a knowledge giving platform. I'm sharing some knowledge of Vedic astrology. This is also somewhat going to be acting as a debt which you owe me. Even maybe in the next janma, or maybe in my previous janmas, I have taken the knowledge from all of you people and I have not delivered it back. So delivering back that knowledge in this universe is also one of the biggest remedy for the planets in the 3rd house. Anything which you give away in the form of knowledge, in the form of charity, in the form of donations, in the form of gifts to someone, that is acting as the settlement of your karmic debt which is coming in your chart. And that is why this is one of the most malefic houses in Vedic astrology. Most malefic actually. Even the 3rd house lord, if it is getting conjunct anywhere in the chart I'm talking about. Maybe 3rd house lord is in conjunction with your 7th house lord conjunction, or maybe 3rd house lord is in conjunction with the 5th house lord and they are posited somewhere separately. The conjunction of the 3rd house lord with other multiple planets actually is also going to create the karmic burden over that planets. So they also need to bear the karmic burden actually. If 5th house is the house of children and 3rd house I told you is the karmic debt, if that 3rd house lord is in getting conjunction with your 5th house, it means your children are also going to bear the karmic debt because of you. Because that is their karma which they need to fulfill in this present life. And that is the reason why I told you few things are fixed and few things are predestined in Vedic astrology. Someone have given you birth, that is your mother. So there is also a rin which is connected with your mother also. Okay, if your mother in for complete 9 months, you stayed inside mother womb and then mother is going to give you janma. So there is a debt, some portion of debt which you owe to your mother as well. This is the karmic debt and that is in through the 3rd house. And that is the main reason why it's not considered good to 3rd house lord moving into the auspicious houses. It's much better to 3rd house lord going in the 2nd house, maybe 6th house, maybe 8th house, maybe 12th house, maybe 2nd house, 11th house, but not in the quadrants. If 3rd house lord coming in the quadrants, this is going to create a lot of disturbances. This will create disturbance in your life. You will not be able to manage perfectly then. This is also most of the time in many charts, 3rd house and 4th house, they are acting as the badak, obstruction giving houses, or the obstruction giving planets in someone's life is also seen through these houses. Sometimes family is becoming a biggest obstruction factor in front of your financial growth, career growth, in your marriage growth, and that is where change of location, relocating to some different places, that is also going to help you to actually understand the or nullify the negative connectivity which is coming from that particular area. So in this way you can actually study this house in more detail. And most important is that initiation part. Initiation mean, if you have actually seen this YouTube thumbnail and you clicked on that video, that clicking part is also that third house, because that is initiation. Initiation means start point. Actually, you are starting. Now if you are watching this video till end, up till, for example, right now at the initially, suppose 1000 people, they clicked on the video and they start watching it. By the end of this video, suppose only 90 or 100 people are present up till this right now. So that amount of people that are present up till right now, it shows their capacity to create or actually sustain something. If they had made certain decision in their life, it means they have the capacity to fulfill that decision. The people who are watching constant reels, actually skipping videos, not be able to see any full video over the YouTube. I'm not talking about my video, any other video. Suppose you are clicking one video and not be able to complete it. Now, if you are not completing it, there are a lot of empty tasks. Unfulfilled karma is there now. Because you have put a lot of initiation, you have moved from one to new to new to new to new video. Now, moving from one to new, this is also going to create some backlog in your life. And that is known as baggage, karmic debt over your head actually. And because of that debt, it becomes very difficult for you to proceed further. This is the reason actually, this is the house which also have the capacity to give the momentum and extreme slowness in your life. People who are not progressing in their life, not even a single one inch actually, not even a 1% progress is happening. Why so? Because of third house. So lack of progression is also seen through the third house, because you are not completing any task which you are starting. You need to create a proper balance between the initiation of the task. It means starting of the task and then completion of the task. If you are not comfortable in completion of some activity, then don't start it. Because if you have started something, I'm giving you one very mundane example of actually videos actually. Maybe you are in a one-on-one relationship with someone and you are having no idea, or you are not a serious person, you don't want to carry forward that relationship up till the last end. And maybe you are having plans of, okay, maybe I'm going to look it as a casual relationship point of view, and after 1-2 years I'm going to leave that person and I will go towards some other person. So if you are having that mentality in your mind, it means third house is very severely afflicted in the Kundali. And that is the reason why you will not be able to carry forward anything which you have started up till the last. The people that are highly successful, they have this habit of starting something and then finishing that task. So rather than disturbing your karma or creating more karmic baggage over your head, I request you, if you initiate something, then try to complete it by end. And you will see from the very next day, the productivity is going to be improved up to 100% in your life. So I hope you have gained some deep insights with regards to third house, significance of dreams and everything in this video with me. If you are having any queries, any consultations with regards to your third house, any other marriage, career, business consultation, do let me know. I will try my best to get back to you as soon as possible. Till then, feel free to subscribe my channel below. Make sure to hit the like button if you really enjoyed this video. You can also send me super thanks if you find some insightful or some meaningful content in this video with me. And I'm going to meet you very soon in the next video. Please don't forget to follow me on Instagram as well. And we will catch you up very soon in the next video. Till then, bye-bye and Hare Krishna.